Welcome to the Essence of Homeschooling podcast, brought to you by the umbrella school, Start Academy. We empower and equip you to cultivate the authentic homeschool lifestyle where freedom and relationships rule.
Whether you like or don't like the Magic School Bus and Miss Frizzle, I do like how she says, make mistakes, get messy. That's her little tagline. And I think that's a good one. That's true. It's okay. And we teach them how to just take it all in stride, learn from it, and move on.
And expectations that we don't stop when we make a mistake. That's actually truthfully the definition of failure is stopping when you goof up. Yeah, then you failed. But if you pick up and move on and try again, that's not a failure. That's a learning experience.
Right.
And so it's important to help them keep moving forward in their work. I think it's also important that you have a general rhythm. I was much more of a rhythm person than a schedule person. This is a general flow of the day. We have breakfast. We get these subjects done. We have lunch. We get this other stuff done, and you're free to play. And then there's dinner, and then there's family time, and then there's a bedtime routine. Routine and rhythm were more important to me than the strict schedule because that makes me feel bound and I don't have freedom. And as soon as that happens, I have a little bit of a rebellious streak and I have to break the bind, the
Right.
bounds, the right. What am I breaking? Breaking, breaking, breaking the chains off of me. That's what I'm
Yes.
breaking.
Yes, exactly. And I'll tell you, as an evaluator, I've worked with hundreds of families over the years. And the ones who were really, quite honestly, the most stressed out were the ones who stuck rigidly to their schedules. And
Yeah.
it was unfortunate. And you try to come in and gently say, here's some things you can ease up on, you can lighten up. And hopefully down the road, people learn how to do that. I personally had to do that because came in from the classroom with, this is my little box of school. Here we go. And it's not like that with the homeschool lifestyle. It's complete paradigm shift, 180. Yes, again, you have your routines, your rhythms. You still do have discipline and you have structure, but you've got to learn to be flexible within that. I had a friend who likened it to spaghetti. You can either be cooked spaghetti or uncooked spaghetti. Uncooked
Oh,
spaghetti is going to snap when you try to break it, but cooked spaghetti is pretty flexible. So be like cooked spaghetti. That's my words of
Be-
wisdom. for today.
we liked cooked spaghetti.
Yeah.
And that's really important too, because both of us, and I know all of us at Statheros, have our times where our schedules have been thrown upside down due to life circumstances, due to health, due to money, whatever it is, moving, anything can and will come disrupt a schedule. But if we have a general idea of where we're headed, we can keep them moving forward. There are times where we really do put it on the back burner because the immediate need is more important. But that's communication. That's again part of the homeschooling lifestyle is talking with your kids, telling them what's expected and preparing them for what's coming in a day, not surprising them. There's certain things to surprise them with, right? The fun, good stuff, the bad stuff that you can help not surprise them in. Can't always help with that, right? When my dad was sick in the hospital, I had to be honest that, of course, this is something that could lead to death. And it did. But it was one of those things that here are still my expectations of you because now I have expectations on me to be somewhere where I'm not normally. And so these things happen, but that consistency and the expectations and the rhythm of it will help them continue to move forward.
Right. Absolutely. And I can definitely speak to that with our kids growing up most of their childhood with their dad having brain cancer,
Mm.
whether it was the treatment or whatever it was. And even within that, even as just upside down that life was for us, we still had to have at least something of a structure there just to get things done, sure. But also there's security in that, right? And maybe they were going over to spend the day with grandma and grandpa and they were going to do school over there, but math looked a little bit different. Math looked like that game of Monopoly. Science looked
Sure.
like watching a science video with grandpa. Whatever it was, you still had that basic rhythm in place, that basic structure, but again, the flexibility.
Welcome to Start Academy. We are an umbrella school that fulfills legal reporting requirements for homeschoolers in Colorado. But all of our services like transcripts, diplomas, IDs, and coaching are available no matter where you live. Don't forget to check out our store for homeschool essentials like attendance logs, planners, report cards, and DIY high school transcripts. Whether you need help with paperwork, planning, support, or guidance on your homeschool journey, Start Academy is here to support you. Visit theumbrellaschool.com to learn more.
That's important because kids also need to feel like they have something they can control, right? That they have something that they have a choice in. And
Mhm.
so some of that is, okay, I'm going to do my math in my room or at the kitchen table or outside on the trampoline, or I'm going to do my language arts first. And so when these things, when your world gets thrown off beat, if they know that they have areas that they can control and it helps them to still, oh, I still know how to do my math. I can still control that element of my education. Sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. I had one kid who didn't tell me how much he was struggling with his math when I was in the midst of a difficult pregnancy. And so
Mhm.
I didn't find out until after the baby was born. I'm like, wow, that was a lot that we've gotta go back and redo, and so that's on me, right, not being present, but it's also on him not talking to me. It goes both ways. As they get a little older, there is that idea that we're raising adults, so they have to learn that self-discipline and those communication skills to begin acting like them, but they're not adults yet. And
Right.
so we're going to have those areas where we need to regroup and reset.
Mhm.
And it happens.
It does. And you don't want to feel necessarily bad about yourself about that. That's just part of learning and growing. And even us as parents, as the adults in the room, learning how to navigate things sometimes. And
Yeah.
we make mistakes and we go back and we say, that didn't work. And let's try this again. And that's okay.
Yes. And that's where they begin to learn that discipline is not all bad, right? Consistency and expectations are just a form of teaching them how to practice self discipline, how to set boundaries, how to plan, how to schedule. But we can make it fun. What ways have you made it fun?
In terms of boundaries, we try to keep it, or sorry, not boundary. You mean like a discipline type
In a
thing?
way, a discipline, but like a self-discipline, the expectations kind of things.
Yeah, we definitely had them work that into planning their own schedule for the days with their own personal whiteboards and their own set of markers. And for whatever reason, kids love whiteboards and markers, and
All
they
the
can
colors.
all the colors and decorate those up, even boys, and doing that and get to erase things and get them off of there when they were
Mm.
done. And then choosing, sometimes even the older they got, choosing their subjects that they were interested in going to take. Sometimes we had them plan the co-op activities, particularly our in-home co-op activities, or even if it was just stuff that they were doing with neighborhood kids, they were still working together, learning how to lead, how to collaborate, how to plan, how to execute, problem solve, troubleshoot, problem solve, things like that. And giving them chances to stretch their wings. And again, loosening those reins a little bit with the nice safety net there, mom and dad. Sometimes too, we would integrate things like, oh, positive kind of award systems, whether it was using a sticker chart, you fill out the sticker chart for how many pages you read or whatever, and then you have a reward at the end. You get extra screen time, you get extra play time, you get extra sleep time, whatever. You get to pick the dessert, all the things. So those were fun. And really, I think the key here is keeping it positive as much as you possibly can. And certainly, yes, in life we have negative consequences. And I'm very much a love and logic kind of person. Wow, that's too bad that you didn't follow that rule. And wow, now you have this consequence. I'm really sorry about that. I hope that next time you get it right. I'm cheering you on. I know you're going to get it right next time. But for now, that's just too bad. You have to go to bed half hour early. I'm sorry. Whatever it might be. But as much as you can, keeping things positive and structured and goal oriented is a good thing.
I like how you said that because it reminds me of boundaries.
Mhm.
Boundaries matter and they're not bad. We have them on the roadway. I want people stopping at the stop sign and not running the stop sign.
Mhm.
Boundaries are important. So, even at a young age, teaching them certain boundaries. Hey, you didn't finish your math. It means you don't get to watch that movie. Sure, that's discipline, but that's still teaching them a boundary and a responsibility and the idea that we really don't get all we want in this life. And it's not bad. Sometimes what we think we want is the bad thing,
Mhm.
right? And so it is important to teach our young kids, especially, but even correct our older kids. Use your manners, speak with kindness, respect other people, respect their personal space, respect their emotional space, respect their mental ability and their mental space. These are things that are positive, but sometimes can feel negative when they're being corrected, but they're super important. Didn't we talk one time when we at Statheros were having a conversation about AI that I guess AI even likes you to use its manners? It
Yes.
gives a chat GPT gives a better answer if you say please.
Wow, so funny.
Maybe we will learn our manners. But
Yes.
I thought that was funny. So discipline has its many forms, but it can be fun and it can be a way to help your kids grow.
Absolutely.
But again, all these things I think boil down to is always when we're homeschooling, our presence is what is that integral piece for all aspects of learning, whether
Mhm.
it's active learning, whether it's the expectations and consistency, whether it's the discipline. By being a parent who is present with your kids, you will help them succeed.
You know, whether you like or don't like the Magic School Bus and Miss Frizzle, I do like how she says, make mistakes, get messy. That's her little tagline. And I think that's a good one. That's true. It's okay. And we teach them how to just take it all in stride, learn from it, and move on.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed the conversation and found it insightful. Be sure to check out today's show notes for all applicable links and additional resources. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. Your support helps us continue to bring you great content. Until next time, happy homeschooling.